Good morning, everybody. We're going to talk about God is with them. And, we should be the light of the world. We should be, when somebody looks at you, when they talk to you, when they see your actions, they should know that who you are internally, that you are a man of God or woman, that you're going to do the right thing, that you glorify the Lord in some way. And whatever your actions are that day, no specific examples, but we should be the light of the world. Jesus said, don't put your, why would you put and I'm paraphrasing, of course, don't put your lamp under a basket. Be the light of the world. Let people know who you are, what you believe, what you stand for, but you can do it through actions. You can do it by the way you treat people, by the way you talk to people. Don't let profane words come out of your mouth. And that's hard for some of us. I've gotten better over the years. My mouth used to be terrible, but it's gotten a lot better. Every once in a while, you get in the middle of something where you get aggravated and something will come flying out, and you're like, oh my goodness, where'd that come from? So it's never totally gone from us, but we should be the light of the world. God is with them. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were uneducated and untrained men, they marveled, and they realized that they had been with Jesus. These people weren't educated. Peter and John weren't. Paul was very educated for the time. But they knew just by seeing and talking to them that, oh my goodness, they were educated, just not the way we would think. That comes from Acts 4:13. In Acts 4, as Peter and John stood waiting for judgment to be pronounced, a man who had just been healed stood alongside them, there in flesh and blood, and was living proof that Peter and John had been with Jesus. Now, as the synagogue rulers looked on, seeing the men who had been healed standing with them, they could say nothing against them. That's verse 14. I'll pose this question this morning. Why did the Pharisees and Sadducees hate Jesus so much? I mean, they crucified him. The Romans actually did the physical act, but the Pharisees and Sadducees is the one that did it. The Roman ruler said, I find no fault in this man. I mean, why do you want to kill him? I mean, he hadn't done anything. Jealousy. Jesus was taking away. Now, I'm speculating, of course, but just based on our readings and all this, and knowing mankind the way we know them, that I would imagine it was jealousy. Jesus was taking away some perceived power, or not necessarily power, but he was taking their light away from them by saying, look, you don't have to do all this stuff that they're telling you. You don't have to do any of this stuff. It took the focus away from them. What did Peter and John do when they realized that their acts, that blah, blah, I cannot read. What did John and Peter do when they were released from their accusers? They went to their own companies, to their own companions, and reported all that the chief priests and elders had said to them. That comes from verse 23. So they were released. They went back to their companions and they told them everything that happened. The saints in Jerusalem rejoiced with the 2 disciples. They prayed, "Now, Lord, look on their hearts and grant to your servants that with all boldness they may speak your word." So now they were really emboldened. "By stretching out your hand to heal, and that signs and wonders may be done through the name of your holy servant, Jesus." 29 through 30. These believers were praying, "God, thank you for the boldness that you have given our brothers. Help us all to speak with holy boldness and provide visible evidence that you are with us. Let your light shine. Be bold as lions," is what he commands us to do. Don't shy away from it. And we've all done it. We've all shied away. At some point, you can go back and think, well, I should have said something and I didn't. I should have done this and I didn't, because I was afraid of what that reaction was going to be if I acted in that manner. We've all been there. Even the great men of God have been there. Peter denied Jesus 3 times before the cock crowed. And Jesus told him he was going to do it. And he said, "Lord, I'm not going to do that. There's no way I'd do that. I would never deny you." Did it 3 times. And then wept bitterly afterwards. But for those moments, he was either afraid of what somebody was going to say, he was afraid for his own life, whatever his fear was, and the devil will use fear against you. He will wrap you in a ball of fear where you can't move. He will convince you of everything possible not to speak what we're commanded to speak. The master said, "Do this." We get afraid, we get scared, we do something else. We withdraw. That's not what we're supposed to do. Very rarely do you ever see a lion withdraw from anything. Be as bold as a lion. No doubt Peter and John had seen the look of resignation on the high priest's face when he realized that they had been with Jesus. Peter must have winked at John and said, "If they only knew. They only remember that they were with Jesus weeks ago. But we were with him also in the upper room, and again this morning as we prayed in our cell. As soon as we get out of here, we're going to meet him again." You can be with Jesus whenever you want to. You know, we say it on here all the time. Read your Bible. I don't understand why we'll sit and watch TV for hours. We'll sit and read newspapers. Well, I don't know if anybody reads newspapers anymore. I know a few people do. Maybe you read a magazine. How many hours do you spend a day scrolling Facebook or just looking up something online? We all do it. Something pops in your head. I'm bad about it. Something pops into my head and I'm like looking on my phone. And I'll spend the next 10 minutes looking through something on my phone. My wife's over there looking on Facebook or whatever. You or your husband, or you by yourself sitting there doing something. Maybe you like flowers and you're sitting there looking up flowers. You can spend all that time, all day doing that. Hours a day. Look on your phone, it's got a timer on there. If you look in the settings, it'll tell you how long you spend on the screen time and when you spend it. If you've never looked at it, just look and see. Why can't you pick up your Bible for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, At this point, I would settle for 5 minutes. Read a chapter. One chapter. Don't read just a verse. Read a chapter. Spend some time with the Lord. What do you have to lose other than your soul? Don't, and I stress this. Let me finish this right quick. This is what happens when men and women who spend time with Jesus, when they come away from their time with Christ, it is clear to all that he is with them wherever they go. Spend time with the Lord. You don't have anything to lose, but you have everything to gain. You have absolutely everything to gain by spending time with him. Read a chapter, read 2 chapters. Read a chapter in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. Read 4 chapters. I don't care. It doesn't matter as long as you're reading it. You know, we'll pick up with Matthew 7 and 8 later in the week when our Bible study. And I greatly appreciate y'all that listen to me ramble for an hour on Bible study. But it does not take away from the time, the quiet time that you spend with God. I can read it to you all day long. It doesn't matter. We can get on here and pray together. Doesn't matter. I'll pray for you. Or pray over you, excuse me. I can't pray for you. That prayer time that you have with the Lord, that time that you pick up your Bible and you read it, is time that is your time you spend with him. I can't do anything with that. I can't intercess in that for you. It's imperative that you read your Bible so you know and you understand. If there's something you read in your Bible and you don't understand it and you think I can help you, shoot a comment down there. I'll be more than happy to answer the question to best of my ability. And I'm not one of these people either that if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. And there's some things that I read and I reread it and I reread it and I reread it and I still don't quite understand it. Just the way it's worded. But pray right before you read that God will give you the understanding. He will give you the discernment to understand what he wants you to see. And notice what I said, what he wants you to see. Nobody understands all of it. If you're listening to somebody or you're going to a church and they tell you they understand every single thing in the Bible, somebody's lying. I'm just going to be honest. There are parts of the Bible, or there are things in the way it's written and all this kind of stuff we don't understand, and it may be through translation, it may be several different things. It could be the way God doesn't want you to really understand that yet. It just may be your understanding is not to that level yet. I heard Pastor Langford say he read something many times, and then all of a sudden it clicked on what he was actually reading, and that man has been reading that Bible for 40 years. Daily for 40 years. Same Bible. Playbook doesn't change. For you sports people. That Bible, those 66 books, I'm not getting into the Apocrypha and all that other nonsense. The Apocrypha was taken out during the Protestant Reformation for a reason. Because it does not need to be there. I don't care what the other versions are. I don't care what the Catholic version is, the Ethiopian version. It does not matter to me. Those 66 canonized books of the Bible are what you need to be reading. I've never read the Apocrypha, and I probably never will. What do I need to read it for? Then we go back and go, well, who actually wrote the Apocrypha? Some of you like to read the book of Enoch. I got news for you. Enoch didn't write it. Nobody has a clue who wrote it. The author is unknown. Or not that I've ever seen anyway. So why are you reading it? Jesus referenced Enoch himself. He never referenced the book of Enoch. Enoch walked in the garden with the Lord, and the Lord took him. He was there one day, next he was gone. And he was 300 years old. Or roughly. His exact age. My point is, read your Bible. And I'm going to continue to harp on this over and over and over. If the only thing you can do is read the Bible on your app, on a phone, go for it. I read my Blue Bible app some. I much prefer to have that book in my hand. There's something about having that book in your hand to read it. It's just different. I don't know why, but it is. If you don't have a Bible, go get one. You can go get them at Goodwill. Show your light to the world. You show your light through the world by knowing the Word. You have to know the Word to show your light. And the more you show that Word, the more you know it, the brighter your light's going to be. I'm going to jump off of here. Y'all have a good day. Keep your head on a swivel. It is getting stupidly crazy out there. We're probably going to start trying to do some type of little bit of a report. It won't be very long, 5-10 minutes a day maybe, or 5-10 minutes a couple times a week, whatever it is. I haven't decided yet, but just very short and condensed. But things are getting crazy. Read your Bible, know your playbook, let your light shine, keep your head on a swivel. God bless you.